Ugh.
Talking about tapes.
I think now is a good time to talk about security. If you're like me, then you've had your information harvested by some data brokers in the past. It happens to the best of us. Luckily, I get alerts from today's sponsor, Aura. It's how I protect myself from hackers, scammers, and spammers. It constantly monitors the dark web, looking for your emails, passwords, and social security number, and sends alerts to your phone or email when they find anything. It will request to remove your information from data brokers and reduce the spam and robocalls you receive. It also acts as a VPN and has an antivirus software. I'm running a scan right now. There's a new victim of identity theft every 14 seconds, and it costs the average victim over $1,000. Click the link in the description or scan this QR code to start your 14-day free trial. Protect yourself now with Aura. Did you guys break in again?
No, we never left.
Can't break in if we never left. We've been sleep. Every time you leave, we come out of the attic.
Yeah.
There's no attic to this building.
Well, actually,
Well, then your upstairs neighbor is very angry at us.
yeah.
I'm on the top floor. Have you just been hanging out at the roof of my house?
I thought your upstairs neighbors were pigeons.
He's been on the roof. Me, I don't know if you've noticed, Tony, but your whole kitchen floor is a grate. I've been actually living under it.
And we've been feeding off of your leavings.
Yeah. They're
Anytime
delicious.
you drop toast crumbs, we're feeding off of them.
A lot of toast crumbs and pasta, a lot of spaghetti. You eat a lot of spaghetti, Tony.
The weird part was the amount of tears. So a lot of tears.
You've been squatting in and around my building.
Define squatting.
Define building.
You've been occupying my building. Mm-hmm.
Define my.
And you waited for me to wake up. Mm-hmm. And you set up the microphones ahead of time. Set up cameras.
Yes.
In my kitchen to talk about Blade Trinity.
Yes.
If it makes you feel better, we use your credit card for the cameras. Also, don't just leave your credit card on your kitchen counter. Anyone can grab it that's squatting in your house.
Guys, I'm like a famous, important YouTuber. I have this nice set. Store. It's a real store. It's a very real store. And you're going to make me talk about a movie in my goddamn kitchen?
Anybody who does a movie review in their kitchen's obviously an amateur.
Well, I guess that's what we're doing. It's amateur hour. Here, and yes, amateur hour. You're just coughing all over my line. Speaking of amateurs, David S. Goyer probably wasn't ready to direct this feature film, Blade Trinity. So we didn't really take a lot of notes, but a while back we did do a commentary track for this, and it's available now on Patreon. And I guess you guys were so excited you wanted to come back and talk more about Blade Trinity, so I guess we will.
That was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
That was probably one of the worst movies I have.
You told me you watched it multiple times.
Yeah.
On mute, just the Jessica Alba scenes?
Excuse me.
Or Jessica Biel scenes?
Let me explain something to you. It was on DVD at the time, but if it was a VHS, those things would be worn out. Okay? When she's pulling back on that bow, that's the redeeming thing of that movie. Jessica Biel looks amazing.
Those abs.
Very fit.
Yes.
Everyone on Seventh Heaven is amazing and did nothing wrong.
Oh, no.
That was a show.
Wait, what happened?
That was a show of virtue.
What happened? I'm going to look it up.
Google.
No, you know what? Look it up later. Look it up later.
No, Seventh Heaven
Look up
is,
Seventh Heaven Dad.
No.
Seventh Heaven Dad.
Heaven. Let's see. Oh, this is easy.
No.
Eric Camden is revealed to be father of numerous children. Oh, Eric Camden. That's what this guy's about.
You're going to want to...
Oh, no. There were children on this show?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Wow, this really puts a damper on this whole Blade Trinity review.
Yeah.
I don't think I could watch Seventh Heaven again.
I would rather than Blade Trinity.
Yeah, I would rather watch Seventh Heaven. I'd rather watch the weed episode.
Real quick, you said you didn't see Jurassic World Dominion?
The third one, whatever the third one is.
Okay, yeah.
I've seen two.
Well, they brought Dodson back from the first movie, but they had to get a new actor. Don't look up why. Don't look up why they had to get a new actor. Anyway, Blade Trinity. Now, I remember when this movie was coming out. I loved Blade and Blade 2. Real hype on it. I remember they were saying Triple H is going to be in a Blade movie. He's going to be in a comic book movie. It's going to be a big thing. And Blade's back, and now he's got a team of young, sexy people helping him out. And I'm like, all right. sounds good. I'm in. And then I remember I started seeing like the advertisements for it, like the promotional pictures. I'm like, this doesn't look as good. And then I saw the trailer. I'm like, this looks like shit.
Yeah, and the other thing is, you brought up the Triple H thing, but we noticed when we were watching it, is like, he's barely in the movie.
Barely.
Like, he has a couple things, and maybe a fight and like 3 wrestling moves, but outside of that, you know, and even Parker Posey's not in that much. It's mostly just falling around as these young go-hards.
Yeah. And I didn't see it in theaters, which isn't rare for the time. I didn't see everything in the theaters back then. But if it was like a superhero movie, I usually made a point to see it, or at least when it came out right on video. Like I didn't get to see X-Men 2 in theaters, but I made sure to get it right on video. Blade Trinity.
But you caught 3, right? The good one?
Yes, I saw that in theaters.
Good, perfect.
Fuck.
Blade Trinity, I didn't see until VHS like 2 or 3 years after it came out.
Now, this is the one they cross over with Trinity from the Matrix, right?
No. Okay. No, it didn't. I don't know why it's... Is it Trinity because it's the 3 of them? But there's more than 3 of them.
Well, I think it's Trinity because it's the 3rd one. But, I mean, okay, so the thing is, and here's why it failed. I figured it out, okay? This is easy. Mm-hmm. Blade Trinity failed because... Count the number of rave scenes in the first one and the second one. There are no rave scenes in Blade Trinity.
There were 0.
Not even light dancing.
Not what? No dancing. It's okay.
Dude, there wasn't even a scene. They could have at least had a scene because the main bad guy was Dracula. They couldn't have had a scene where he seduces and ballroom dances with a woman. Like Dracula's too.
And also, don't you have to like invite Dracula in? Like, I don't think he could just like go wherever he wants.
That's the first Dracula. He's a little entitled.
Okay, yeah, so that's a problem here. Sorry, I'm pulling up the plot of the film because I forgot to take notes.
See, all Draculas are communist because they don't need to be invited because they own everything.
Exactly.
That's how it
Well, that's
works.
the problem. So, like I said, Blade comes from the comic Tomb of Dracula. But then the first movie does the whole, like, forget everything you know about vampires. All the movies are bullshit. And it's like, and then the second one leans heavy into, like, their sci-fi vampires. And now it's literally Dracula's here.
The first one.
The third one is like, remember everything you know about vampires.
Remember, it's all coming back.
First one was forget everything you know about vampires. Second one was remember everything you know about vampires.
Remember everything you forgot about.
You forgot about vampires. And the third one is forget everything you know about a good film.
So yeah, David Goyer is writing and directing this time.
And you could tell that Wesley Snipes was very happy about that.
You could tell he was very happy about a lot of things.
Famously, some other director was, Oliver Hirschbiegel was in talks to direct the film.
Who the fuck is that?
Well,
Who's Oliver Hirschbiegel?
He ended up directing a different film that spawned many re-edits and memes. Can you guess the film?
No.
It's the guy who did Downfall.
Really?
If you don't know what Downfall is, if you've ever seen a clip of Hitler screaming and yelling at his staff that's re-subtitled, that is from the movie Downfall. So he chose to do Downfall instead of Blade Trinity. Downfall did have a bigger impact than Blade Trinity.
And better staying power.
God, those Downfall memes went on for a long time.
They're still coming out.
They still do them?
He also made the movie Das Experiment.
Okay, which is German for the experiment.
Thank you, Royce.
So I guess Goyer took over, and yeah, this movie is famous like for Wesley Snipes just becoming.
Wow, look, when we watched it younger, same thing. I didn't really pick up that up on because I'm like, it's a Blade movie. Who cares? Mm-hmm. But really now, knowing going into it, the whole background, it is completely noticeable that even on the best, those are the best takes in the movie.
Yeah.
He did not want to be there. He didn't want to phone it in. He wouldn't do anything. He wanted off.
No,
and we were talking about in the previous film, they apparently used stand-ins for him because he was busy doing other movies. And he probably saw how effective that was.
Like I said, Steven Seagal did. You know, just as many stand-ins as possible. Steven Seagal now even has people just dub his voiceover. I'm surprised they didn't do that.
Yeah,
I mean that's the next step. And it sucks because I like Wesley Snipes. Like he's not a guy that I dislike or anything, but Wesley Snipes is too arrogant for we'll get the tax thing, but he's too arrogant for his own good, right? It's like, look, man, you're good and I like you, but not enough to be this big of an ass. You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Gunnar Hansen, the dude who plays
Leatherface.
No, not Gunnar Hansen. Who's the other? Who's the Kane Hodder? The guy who
Hodder.
plays Jason in the newer movies is apparently a fucking dick.
No, Kane Hodder did 7, 8, 9, and 10.
I heard he's
Not the
kinda-
new- Derek Mears was the last guy who played.
Okay,
him.
no, but I heard Kane Hodder's kind of an I've heard. I could be wrong. It's like it's one of those things where it's like what you.
I was
did
gonna
does
say
not
Gunnar
win.
Hansen is one of the. He was Leatherface in the.
Yeah, no,
first
Gunnar
one.
Hansen's old.
He was one of the
Awesome.
nicest people
He's
I've
awesome.
ever met.
I actually saw a movie with him recently.
Yeah.
No, sorry. No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
Yeah,
I had a Goyer thought that it just came to my head because you mentioned it.
Yeah.
And my Goyer thought was, I kind of feel bad for him because I'm not, obviously, there's a lot of decisions he made that were in his control, but I kind of feel like it really sucks. It's your first directorial debut. You know, you're excited and you're going to do it, and then you have to work with somebody who is just dragging their feet.
Yeah.
And so I'm not saying that if Wesley Snipes didn't phone it in, the movie would have been better, but I don't know how it could have been worse.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot that's bad in here, and it's not just having to deal with Wesley's bullshit, because there are scenes that are completely devoid of Wesley Snipes, and they're not very good.
No.
Goyer is very hit or miss as a writer and a director. He is.
I mean, you've worked with him, you would know.
I did work with him on The Dark Knight Rises, but even those two later ones, I think the Nolans are more involved with the actual script. I think he just helped develop the story, really. He's good at like coming up with like concepts and working with other writers, but he's very hit or miss on his own, especially directing. And of course, this is one of them. Yeah. So like I said, this is about Dracula, and they got the classic film star Dominic Purcell to
Excuse
play
me, what's
him.
his name? Don't dead name him.
Oh, Drake. Sorry, not Dracula.
Thank you.
Drake.
And honestly, I think the reason for that Drake thing is because they thought it would be cooler. They thought, oh, Drake, young and hip, Dracula. That's your grandpa's vampire.
Apple did not pay for product placement. There are a lot of Apple products.
Yeah, there was a lot of.
Maybe it was one of those if they did it, they would come kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you
they
build
made
it, they
the
will come.
equipment available and included the option to buy it at 60% reduction.
Wait, didn't even get it for free?
No.
They had to, so they were, oh my God, they were going to give Apple free plugs on their stuff if they were just giving them, they wouldn't even ask for money. Just give me free stuff and like, we'll give you a discount.
Yeah. Ashley Scott was almost in this. She was in Birds of Prey, the TV show from the early 2000s. And it says here, Goyer was highly skeptical of having Triple H in the movie, but his comedic timing and self-deprecation, he admired that.
Off screen? Was all that off screen,
Yeah, and he
Tony?
ended up. Here's the weirdest thing.
Well,
It said-
from everything I've heard, Triple H is famously easy to work with the acting stuff. Like, he's actually a nice guy.
Yeah.
So I could see him winning him over. I think what Goyer's pointing out is he'd rather be with a nice guy who's a bad actor than be with a mediocre actor that's a dick.
they might have cut a lot of his stuff here because it's saying they expanded his role.
Well, maybe he was supposed to die. No, you know what happened? He was probably supposed to die in the beginning when she shot him with the arrow. No, I'm being serious. But then they go, no, we'll just say it wasn't a silver arrow.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to use him more. And also,
Look, we paid a lot-
probably because they need to film more time because Wesley was sitting in his trailer smoking weed and not wanting to do the movie.
Yep, and they were probably also just like, all right, look, we spent a lot of money on those silver teeth. We really got to show them, and because
The
that's
silver teeth are so
every
stupid.
shot of Triple H is him going and it's close.
Like, I don't get why there's silver teeth. Wouldn't that hurt him? Like,
because he's a pimp.
No, but that's a really good point. He would be in pain all the time, right?
Yeah.
Did they specifically say it was silver?
I guess they could just be metal, but
That's worse, though.
That's so weird.
Maybe they're platinum.
Okay, that could be a
That's
thing.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
Chrome teeth.
Maybe they're titanium.
Oh, you know what? Adamantium teeth. It is the Marvel universe.
that's
It
right.
exists.
There we go. Done.
So yeah, there was a lot of issues behind the scenes with this film. It's kind of a mess. They're working in like Hannibal King and like I think the Night Stalkers they're called. Because they
I'd
were
have
trying.
Hannibal Buress.
What did I say? Hannibal Buress?
No, I said I'd rather have Hannibal Buress.
Hey Blade, man, what we gonna do now, man? Oh, that's shitty.
So they wanted to set up a spin-off called the Night Stalkers.
Yeah, I did know going into that.
Yeah.
That was the whole plan was to have. Okay, so they were going to just do other movies with. That's why, again, why we look at something I guess we haven't mentioned in the review, but it's like how stacked the cast is.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the cast on paper today, you'd be like, that's a pretty good cast. You know, you've Ryan Reynolds, you have Jessica Biel, you have Parker Posey, you have what's the guy that was the dad on Dexter?
James
Remar.
Go down, or what's her face from Orange is the New Black? I'm bad.
Natasha Lyonne.
Yeah. So and you keep going down the list, and you're like, wow, this is kind of stacked. Like this is a stacked cast. But I think that's the reason why. It has to be because they figured, look, we need people that could carry a movie after Wesley Snipes is gone. And you know what? They were wrong to bet on that Ryan Reynolds guy. Name one successful R-rated movie that Ryan Reynolds guy has ever made.
I can't think of any.
Okay, me neither, right?
Yeah.
Van Wilder.
Oh, okay. Okay. You know what? I apologize.
I think I saw a movie where he was in a box the whole time. I remember that one.
Oh, Buried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was the movie where he owned a pizza shop.
Yes, I remember that. Other than that, he doesn't really ring any bells for me.
Slevin. Lucky number Slevin.
Was he the guy in Slevin?
That was Josh Hartnett, I think.
Yeah, it was Josh Hartnett.
No, hold on.
Ryan Reynolds was in Lucky Number 11.
No. What's the one with the heisting and the cards and they're shooting at each other? No. This isn't letting this go.
This is the best ever.
When I tell you what it is, hold on. Don't look at the camera. Don't look at the don't do it.
Pesi, while he's looking for that, do you like my kitchen washer dryer?
Oh yeah, I love it. It's Samsung, right?
Yeah.
Does it play a little song when it's ready?
It does.
Now, by the way, Samsung did not sponsor this show, but they did give him the washer for 60%.
They said, we're going to get you washer and dryer. And I was like, where am I going to put it? They're like, I don't know, your kitchen.
Are you talking about
give up.
Red Notice?
No. Keep going. Before.
6 Underground? Hitman's Bodyguard?
You know what? I give up.
Just
It doesn't
Friends?
matter.
Just Friends.
There
That's
it is.
the movie.
Green Lantern. I just remembered.
What about the change up when him and Jason Bateman switch bodies?
What about the one where the Just Friends is the one he was fat and then he lost weight,
fat and
right?
he's not.
Yeah.
Bro, you can never make that today.
No.
Speaking of which,
you couldn't
we're
make Shallow Hal today.
We need to cancel Jack Black for making Shallow Hal. Cancel Jack. Hashtag cancel Jack Black.
No, you have to cancel Gwyneth Paltrow because she was in the fat suit.
She was.
Gwyneth Paltrow should be canceled for her vagina candles, not for anything else.
No,
Let's
for
be
her
honest.
vagina. Period. She steams it.
Listen here, goop. Okay, anyway, I apologize. David S. Gore's wonderful film, Blade Trinity.
Yes. I guess we'll just go through the movie here.
I'm excited.
I'm not.
So, a bunch of vampires land in Syria. At a digital pyramid where I guess they realize.
That's right.
As they do.
And then they flick off the sun. Don't forget that they flick off the sun.
Yeah, I think Triple H is the one that's like, fuck you, son. It's like, what did the sun? Okay.
Oh, that's weird.
Okay. I don't think the sun had anything to do with you. It's an unfortunate thing. Like, you know, the sun can kill humans too, slower.
So they're investigating this tomb, and something I want to point out very quickly is like, you could have done it at nighttime. No one made you go during the day. You could have landed in Syria at night, so you wouldn't have to wear all that protection.
Yeah, what is that shit?
Because once they pull the rock, they're underground, so it doesn't matter what time it is. But they had to have the sun up to have that one scene later. Yeah.
Oh no, it was once they pulled the very specific rock that they knew which
Everything
they knew exactly.
collapsed.
Like pulling like a little needle out of like a Lego.
My favorite is the monster Dracula comes out, but we find out that isn't his monster form. That's his scary armor that looks like a monster, but he also turns into a monster later on.
Yeah,
there's a lot of confusing things with Dracula in terms of what hurts him, because they're all over the place. Like they don't even explicitly tell you the rules of things. I understand vampires are different, but they never explicitly tell you the rules of this Dracula.
Yeah, they never really. There's no
he walks out in the sun at one point. So
there's no like the Reapers where they're learning their weaknesses as they go. They're like, hey, this thing might kill him. It's like, are there any other options? Like, no, this thing might.
I don't
work.
think so.
We don't have time to figure it out. We have too many characters in this movie we got to explore so they can be in all those spin-offs that never happened.
Blind Justice, if she would have survived, the blind girl, that would have been her thing. Would have been Blind Justice. Where she hunts vampires, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we get to see Blade, our boy Blade, hanging out with Whistler still, going around.
Patton Oswalt spinoff if he'd have stayed alive. Getting Away with It. Marvel presents Getting Away with It.
That's a good one.
Catch Me If You Can.
That's a good one
spin
too.
that off.
I don't understand those jokes.
Me neither.
I don't get it either.
They're not funny.
Those jokes didn't make sense to me. I don't know what they're referencing. And
Catch Me If You Can was a really good Tom Hanks movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. So let's get into it. So Leonardo DiCaprio, he runs away, and Tom Hanks has to chase him.
This movie sounds great.
Can
we talk about that instead of Blade Trinity?
So anyway, Blade Trinity.
By the way, look at him dressed like, now he's just like an evil Sith Lord tormenting us with this.
This is a Jedi robe, thank you very much.
Yeah, you know who else was a Jedi for a little while?
Who?
Anakin.
That's true.
No, he'll invert it to the Sith one when he reads us the fucking Harry Knowles review.
There is a Harry Knowles
I'll never forgive you for that.
I hope everyone went to Patreon and watched me reading the Harry Knowles review. And you guys watch a lot of cringe like every day.
I know, but have
lolcows like
yes, and that should be the testament to how bad that is. Because yes, we cover lolcows and stuff, but they're just dumb, crazy people. This guy is somehow respected in the film universe and is friends with really famous people. So seeing somebody like that do it is what makes it bad. Like if some stupid idiot's like, "Oh, I'm coming in your liquor," whatever, fine. But watching this guy seriously talk about, and it's not even that he talked about it. You got to watch the Patreon thing. It's how much he didn't stop. At one point, Tony goes 4 more paragraphs. I go, how is that possible?
It's relentless.
Here's the thing: Harry Knowles was right place, right time.
Yeah,
he was big in internet reviews when they were taking off, like the written ones. Yeah. Right place, right time. Harry Knowles tries to start now. He'd be like one of those guys that are like, I can't believe that superhero's black now. He'd be one of those guys, obviously. You should check out Harry Knowles' like review show he did a few years ago.
Oh, I am now.
The Ain't It Cool show. It was so well produced and shot and had like big stars on it. But the mistake they made was Harry Knowles was the host and he sucked. He could not carry a conversation. Okay. It was so bad.
I'm gonna have to get some good.
But anyway.
Yeah, it's butt liquor of the week award on his show. It's all weird stuff like that.
Royce, please stop talking about Harry Knowles and his Blade 2 review. I got to focus on that.
It could only get so hard.
So Blade is tracking down some vampires and then he kills one of them, but it's not a vampire. It's some guy, familiar.
It's familiar. You could tell because you took his fake Party City teeth out of his mouth.
Yes. And then it cuts to, what's-her-face, Parker Posey with a freaking Panasonic HVX filming the whole thing like that.
Also, upside of the movie, Parker Posey, hot goth mommy in this, love the look.
Also,
yeah, honestly, I will say that in terms of the people in the movie that did well, her, if you isolate her from the rest of the bad movie, she was pretty good. In general, I liked her. She could tell she was delivering her lines as she meant it. She wasn't phoning it in. Like her scenes with Ryan Reynolds were really good. So I always like Parker Posey, but even everything she's in, she always tries at least.
Yeah, for this, there's like a version that could have happened where she is the main bad guy. Maybe
that should have been the twist.
And Dracula is just like a monster thing that she's using.
Yeah.
But no, it's just like she's the main bad guy, and then it's like, no, now it's Dracula.
Or she has, you could have easily had like,
more interesting
you could have easily had like, she had some sort of amulet that could control him, and you know, she was the power behind that. Actually, God, we just wrote a better Blade Trinity movie.
No, sorry, Royce, we didn't. We actually just wrote a woke movie.
Oh.
No. The
women aren't allowed to be heroes.
No. Or villains. The movie that the fans these days want is it's just Dracula and just him, and he does everything.
It's Dracula and he's on Reddit the entire day.
All right, hear me out. Blade Trinity remake, all right? Blade, Melissa McCarthy. Dracula, Melissa McCarthy.
Hear me out. Whistler, Melissa McCarthy.
All right. And then Ryan Reynolds' character. Hold on. I'm going to do a little twist here, okay?
What is
hold on.
His name's I don't know what it's going to be. I'm really going to be shocked.
Kate McKinnon.
Whoa, I love it. This is great, guys. We made a better movie.
Directed by
Kevin Feet. No.
I was going to say Kevin Smith.
No, Kevin Federline.
Kevin Federline. Take
that. Hey, you see that glass ceiling? Take that.
Why would they trust him with that franchise? What were they thinking?
Why would they trust Goyer with this?
You know what's funny? I was trying for Triple H to think of the other Ghostbusters actress, not Leslie Jones. I'm like, who's the other one? I'm like, That was fucking Kristen Wiig. How did I forget the most popular
Because
person?
it was that bad.
You know what? I never reviewed the movie, but the lovely ladies on my show have. Check that out.
Yes, please.
Anyway.
They also hated it.
They hated it.
That's the funniest.
I watched it and I was like, okay, good.
How many women were on that show?
4.
4 women. They all fucking hated it.
Oh, and then the 5th one had a cameo, and I did the commentary track with her, and she also hated it.
She also fucking hated it.
So the 5 main women on the show all hate that
But
movie.
us guys are we're
Us guys, we want more women in this stuff. We want
I
a
don't think
bigger
you
role.
guys hear me out. We want as more women as possible. You people have us all messed up. Regardless of whatever, both sides have these stupid people yelling at you at the whole time. You know what I want? Give me a good character.
Yeah.
Write them well.
Yeah.
And give me a story. I really don't care what they are.
And we talked about that before with Parker Posey in Lost in Space. I'm like, that was a dramatic.
She was great. She was great in that, actually.
Reimagining of the character, and it worked. Anyway, she sets up Blade. And the thing is, like, Blade doesn't feel bad or anything that he killed a human. He's mad that he got caught.
Well, because it's implied that he's killed familiars before.
Yeah, why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
much like dodging taxes.
Yeah, he's not mad he didn't pay his taxes. He's mad he got caught. He gets back to the base, and the base ends up getting attacked, and Whistler dies. They kill Whistler.
I mean, good. If I'm him, I would have thanked him to get me out of that.
Yeah, fucking
that
thank God.
piece of horse shit.
Yeah.
You mean I don't have to come to work
I
anymore?
mean, the character shows up later, obviously.
Yeah.
Not him, but like, the actor.
Yeah.
But the problem is that this is the 3rd time now that we're using Whistler as the thing. Like, after watching all 3, especially, you're like, okay, Whistler, we got it. Hey, how come if he's so useful, how come he always gets caught and in trouble and killed? Like,
I know, it's bullshit. It'd be like if Alfred was dying in every Batman movie. It's like, okay, give me one fucking movie where he's not.
Well, excuse me, McGregor's system was very serious, especially if you have Phase 4. Sir.
I actually do love that the CW shows brought the McGregor syndrome
which is
back.
hilarious.
That was a fun wink and nod.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? McGregor syndrome, okay.
Dude, if Alfred was dying in every single Batman movie I saw and I was in charge of writing the next one, I would literally have a scene where Batman goes, shh, Alfred, just shh. Go into the light, Alfred.
So this is 2004. So Goyer is also writing the next Batman.
Yes.
Oh, so
we
this
talked
is just
about
him
this.
biding time.
Yeah, and we were wondering, like...
He has a Blade mobile that does things now.
Yeah, so
Fucking hate
Blade
it.
always had a Blade mobile. He had a nice car. But this, they give him like a car scene.
But it
and
has
give
gadgets. It's gadgets,
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Well, we were joking about it when we were watching it. We were saying like, oh, so basically here's what's happening. He knows Batman's coming. He's like, I want a Batcave and I want a Batmobile. And I also want to stand on ledges and shit.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, man, whatever.
Yeah, and
Wesley.
I also want my double to do all those things I said while I go smoke weed in my trailer. I need more weed.
Also, make sure you pay me in envelopes full of cash. I have a whole thing I'm doing.
So
No
we
reason.
capture Blade. The police bring in Blade, James Remar, and them.
Which again, we brought up Blade couldn't be taken down by legions of vampires, and all it took was like the police.
Yeah, like the regular police.
And by the way, I don't want to hear like, well, he didn't want to kill him. Whistler killed like 13 cops.
yeah. So when the scene started, we're like, oh, I guess he doesn't kill humans. And then as soon as we're done, Whistler just blows
Bah.
up. Like a bunch of like, oh, never
And
mind.
like, oh, no, we do kill humans. So then this familiar thing, again, like you said, he just got caught. That's all.
Yeah, he just got caught.
Yep.
But he is being interrogated by familiars, which I think James Remar doesn't know about.
Oh, and for those of you that don't know, familiar is Italian for family.
Thank you.
That's familia.
Familiar.
Tony, let the real Italian tell you how the word
Tony,
is.
you're from Philly. I am officially a Jersey native now that I've been there for about, 12 hours?
12 hours.
It's me, my mom, my dad, the familiar.
You're not even Italian. You're Sicilian. Doesn't count.
Only because they say so.
Somebody watched True Romance.
I got that scene on repeat up here.
So they bring Blade in and they're drugging him to like question him, I guess.
And also something else, he gets drugged really easily. Like, well, they give him a lot of extra, but either drugs work on him or they don't. There's this weird middle ground with him.
Yeah, it is bizarre. And then like Parker Posey shows up. So basically the police let them know that they have the vampire there or the Daywalker there. So they're there to like, I guess get his blood. They always want his blood for some shit. But he gets saved by the Night Stalkers. Like they throw the vampire through the two-way mirror. And then Ryan Reynolds comes in with the, hello, my name is Fuck You.
Evening, ladies.
Have a
Also, vampires have reflections. We learned that.
They do have reflections.
In the Blade universe, they do, yeah.
Yeah. That's actually, I didn't pick up on that, actually.
They have reflections, but do they ever stop and reflect?
No. Yeah, like, why am I in this movie?
Fucking hell.
Why am I here?
Why am I not? Where are the raves? Why am I not glistening? Is there something wrong with me?
So
Zero glistening in this really
No
made me
glistening
upset.
or raves, Tony.
Yeah. So Blade gets saved by the Night Stalkers.
Which is a gritty Saved by the Bell reboot on Peacock.
Yeah. Which, by the way, what did you think of his CGI double jumping out of the window after he gets a sword?
I don't know how the third one, the CGI is worse than the first one.
Yeah.
The CGI keeps getting worse in these things, guys. Not better. You would think they'd be a little bit better by now.
And by the way, we were talking about, like, so the cops are there in front of a police station where these people have guns and they're coming out, and they take a long time to shoot at them. Like, they had to wait for the other guy to show up in the truck and pick him up. They let them go into the truck before they start, like, shooting at
You're
them.
forgetting the jumping out the window.
No, I did say that. The
did you?
CGI of him jumping out the window.
Okay, so when he jumps out the window, the CGI is bad, fine. But then, number one, why not take the elevator? There was no need to do that.
No.
Number two, that's the cool line in that scene when he lands is, "Forgot my sword." Less line. If you watch the Blade 2 one, which was probably amazing, and that's why you're here.
Yeah.
If you watch the Blade 2 review, we mentioned how few lines he had. He has less lines in this. Has to. I know, because there's a bigger cast, and the new Night Stalkers or Blade Boys, as we call them, are... oh, no. Blade Boys version 2.0. And, sorry. Blade, they and thems, because there's both of there's both of them.
It's Blade Boys with a Z, but the Z is a number 2.
Blade people, okay?
Blade people.
They're Blade people.
Okay, so these Blade people, this is not as good as Blade Boys. These Blade people, but so obviously we already know he didn't want to be there. So obviously David Pryor's like, give him as little lines as possible. We'll do most of the stuff. Again, the one thing that you guys are going to notice, it's not all the time, but from Blade 1 to this one, all he does is answer questions.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's Blade's thing.
Yeah. And what Ryan Reynolds does is joke
Holy fuck.
stop.
Bro, get one line out without a zinger.
Bro, I'm watching. I swear to God, if someone super cut together all of Ryan Reynolds' lines and I had to sit and watch that, I would feel like I am being held at knife point in a corner while a comedian does his tight 5 at me.
Well, apparently, so Wesley Snipes didn't want to be in scenes with Ryan Reynolds.
We noticed it's green, very green screen.
He did a couple scenes with him and in the same shot, but then he would do his close-ups. He would just leave. But Ryan Reynolds was ad-libbing a lot, apparently. So that's why, he's telling jokes, and it looks like Blade isn't amused. It's because Wesley Snipes didn't hear any of that.
Tony, it's like a Marathon Man situation. You have Dustin Hoffman doing his method acting, and then you have thespian Laurence Olivier going, "Oh, what? He's jogging? Learn your lines." That's exactly what's happening here.
Yeah, and Wesley Snipes is writing his lines on babies' diapers like Marlon Brando.
Oh, that's right.
Remember that?
So we meet Abigail Whistler. Whistler's daughter that we didn't know about.
We had no clue she was around.
No. I mean, I think we knew his family was killed, and she's like, "I came later. He had sex out of wedlock," and I'm like, "So he didn't father you because of that?" It's weird that he's like, Blade's like, "You're like a father to me," and then Whistler was like, "I found out I had a daughter, and I told her to get out." I'm like, "All right, well now
she wasn't a boy."
Yeah.
Maybe it's because he wanted to protect her from his life. The life that he lived is the only thing I can think of.
And she doesn't, but she ended up being in that life anyway.
No, obviously look.
Well, that's because it was written, so.
Okay, listen.
It's a little weird that Abigail's
Tony, have you heard of the movie? Have you ever heard of the blockbuster film Hamlet?
Yes, I have.
Okay, have you seen Hamlet too?
I have seen Hamlet.
Very funny. They're not related. I just wanted to bring that up. Watch it. Steve Coogan is amazing.
I will say it's a little weird that Abigail's just like, my father wanted nothing to do with me, but he was nice to other kids like you, Blade, so he was a good guy.
And okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, cool.
That's weird. That's weird to shit on your parent and praise him at the same time. That's weird. I wouldn't do it. I definitely wouldn't put out a video on Twitter doing that. It's very awkward.
And Harry Knowles is like, "Oh man, she's so hot. She her arms so hot."
He has a Blade Trinity review.
I know.
No, he wouldn't say her arms. He would go, Ryan Reynolds is so hilarious. Every quip tickled my nutsack like an expensive hooker.
And you're like, come on, man.
Yeah, guys, watch the page.
It's worth paying. Pay for 1 month, even if you only pay for one.
Do it. If you want to watch us in pain, well, this man says probably the worst things I've ever heard uttered out of a human's mouth.
Especially in context of who's the person saying it.
Yeah.
So the vampire's plan is to use Dracula to get. Basically, it's the plan from the last movie. Hey, we're gonna figure out a way to get rid of all of our weaknesses. And
and then we came up with some sort of virus thing that does it. These movies are copy paste, man. If you really break it down, the thing is, this one is like. This movie felt shorter. I don't know if it's shorter, but this one felt shorter. It's not? Didn't it feel shorter though?
No, because
113 minutes it says.
Yeah, Blade 2 is an hour 59. Blade 3 is 2 hours and like 4 minutes.
Oh god.
It was longer.
Okay, I guess it felt shorter because at least to me only because nothing happened for most of the movie. A lot of it was like training most of it was training montages. And then, he was a bad dad. He was a good dad. My blind kid. And I'm blind and my kid's gone. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And by the way, that's the problem when you have these casts that are so big, is that I felt no emotional attachment.
Too many cooks. Too many cooks.
Too many cooks. When she lost her kid, that in a movie done correctly, that could have been something like, oh, man.
They do one scene of them together, but it's not enough to really build up that bond.
Did you ever see Bullet Train? Did you see Bullet Train when that came out?
I didn't.
Okay.
No.
People gave it a lot of shit because it's one of those movies where it is just all over the place. There's tons of characters and whatever, right? But when I watch it, what I got from it is it's kind of one of those movies where you can tell which characters are important, and then the ones that aren't quickly get dispatched. Yeah. So you learn their backstory quick, but then they get dispatched in some manner that's still memorable but good. Mm-hmm. But I don't, this did not do that properly at all.
But we get to know a lot about Drake. He gets he feeds on just women apparently.
I'm gonna call him Dracula from now on.
Dracula.
I'm gonna call him the Deep Vamp.
He wears a
wow.
So first he has the girdle and the armor.
The girdle. Let me tell you. That is a nice girdle.
And then after he feeds on all the people in the pit and he like turns back into a human. He's wearing the deep V there, chest out. And then he walks around town and it looks like a commercial for like perfume or something or some kind of commercial.
Oh yeah, because he's like walking.
They do this a lot in the movie, but this is where he's walking normal speed and everyone's going real fast.
It looked like the opening credits to a sexy CW vampire show.
Yes.
With the sky moving really fast and him moving slow and
yeah.
It's called something like CW Presents Drake's Trial.
He goes to like a Hot Topic or something.
Yeah.
And there's all this Dracula.
No, not a Hot Topic. No. I'm not going to let you say that.
That was a Dracula store.
It was a store specifically that only sold Dracula and vampire themed stuff. Mm-hmm. They had cereal and it was Count Chocula.
Yeah, they had Count Chocula there. And I educated you guys on the Dracula's Widow Peak.
Yes.
Inception.
Yes.
The Bela Lugosi Dracula does not have a Widow's Peak, okay? Yeah, Bela Lugosi has it in a different movie, White Zombie. And I think people might actually put those two together now that I'm thinking about it to get out of like paying Universal license.
Yeah.
Well, like, good. Now I could sleep because of the Widow Peak.
Yes, now you can sleep. Now you can sleep. And
that'd be funny if that's what did it.
Frankenstein, not the monster.
If one more person tells me that fact.
Actually, the monster were the people chasing him down.
By the way, the Boris Karloff mummy, he's only in the wrappings in the very beginning. Did you know that?
Did you know that Jason Voorhees isn't really in the first Friday the 13th movie except till the very end?
And he doesn't have the mask till the third.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. These are facts you already know, brought to you by Hack the Movie.
Hi.
One last one. Michael Myers, not in Halloween 3.
Michael Myers, not the one from Austin Powers.
One actor, two kids, set of Twilight Zone, the movie. Decapitated by a falling helicopter.
On that note, back to Blade.
Back to Blade.
Wait to hear about Poltergeist.
All right,
well. So yeah, he kills the people at the Dracula store for some reason.
It's all his Dracula stuff.
No, he bites the neck of a goth chick in a Motorhead t-shirt.
That is Motorhead.
I wish there was a joke.
H's band.
Oh God, that's it, right. And by the way, I wish what you said was a joke, but that really happened.
That actually happened.
Yeah, this one is way more dated than the previous two.
Yeah.
This one is a very much a product of its time with the constant Apple products and
the
all
CGI.
that. Yeah, the CGI, the references they're making. It's like the first one feels kind of timeless. And the second one, maybe a little bit, but it's like the second one looks more like fantastical or whatever.
Right.
This is just like, this is what's popular right now, right here,
including
right now.
the Attitude Era wrestling. It's so funny though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that Ruthless Aggression yet? I guess it's like
Ruthless Aggression.
Royce, your face is red. You definitely didn't do a bump of coke in between camera cuts.
No.
Anyway,
I was bitten by a Drake.
You were bitten by
Not the vampire, the rapper.
You're bitten by a Dracula.
A Dracula.
Now, if you excuse me, I need to go write a song. A sad song.
So then there's this whole thing that they're developing called the Daystar. And okay, this seems they're making like a virus to wipe out just the vampires and like ethnically cleanse them. Like,
Yeah, it's a genocide. Again, it's a genocide of vampires. Even Blade says it. That's not a joke. They say it in the movie.
We could wipe them all out in one single move.
During the riff, we dropped the controller a lot, and things kept happening. But there was a point, so Russ, when you went, and he was, the third time it happened, right? Tony was going through the scenes. Mm-hmm. That scene on the DVD is called The Final Solution. On the DVD menu.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this.
And Blade's a good guy in this situation. Blade and the Playboys are the good guys.
Well, you know, there was a country in the 40s that also thought they were the good guys, so I don't know what that means.
And then they just keep some vampires to get him to get into to the space.
I think I mentioned in...
Dude, come on, guys, let's be real here. You know how cool World War II would have been if there were fucking vampires?
Operation Vampire Paperclip. Whoa.
I was going to say, I think I mentioned it in the Batman and Robin review, but the wrestler who played Bane in that, Jeep Swenson or whatever, his character in WCW, I think his original name for like a week was called The Final Solution.
Yes, I remember that.
And they got a lot of angry letters and had to change it to something else.
I'm going to destroy you, Adolf Hitler. No, you won't, Winston Churchill.
I will say, okay, so
that actually sounds hilarious.
So they are trying to commit genocide, but I mean, I guess in fairness, the vampires kind of started the genocide first. They tried it.
Oh, so they Uno carded the genocide?
Yeah.
Aha.
Look, I'm not getting into any vampire conspiracy theories on this show.
Yeah, because at some point, like the vampires are also planning for a genocide because they go to the big warehouse where they're all just shrink wrapped. They have humans shrink wrapped, homeless people that are fully clothed. I guess they didn't take a shower, so that's not going to be good. They're carrying something like, let's clean them up before we shrink wrap.
Yo, Alex, I just want to say I love vampires.
Dude. What a waste of
I don't know who this Alex is that you're referencing.
Oh, nobody.
Dude, what a waste of a fucking warehouse.
Oh,
no
my
rave.
God. Oh,
no
my God.
rave.
Yeah, every time. That's during the riff. Every time they'd open the door, I'd be like, please there be a rave. Please be a rave inside.
Dude,
and there was never a rave inside.
Dude, even then, you have this operation. You have all this like human harvesting operation. Put it on a wall behind a rave.
Yes. By the way,
that would be a cool backdrop for a rave. That's a really good point.
So I do love that they show up and they kill the one vampire lady. They kill the familiar. They tell the familiar to let him in. And like they open it up and it's just some lady at the computer and she's like, hi.
So when I just thought about this and this would have been great and tell me it would have been perfect.
No.
When he kills the familiar, he goes, you were getting a little too familiar. And then he walks away.
That'd be good.
And then the IRS arrests him.
But the girl is there and he's like, do the shutdown code. She's
oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. And then he just leaves and doesn't make sure like it goes through. Like,
and also, she's just as guilty as the other guy for doing this. She's allowing it.
Yeah.
And she gets away scot-free, but the other guy gets shot in the back.
I love how it just ends with everything getting shut off, and it should have just waited a bit, and then they leave, and she just goes, click,
by the way,
back on.
What's the password? Harvest. What's the password? Harvest. Seriously?
Seriously?
I mean, all right. That seems
little
weak.
obvious.
Not even like Harvest 69 exclamation point.
Yum yum blood 69
What's
420.
your password to the computer? Blade. It's like Blade is cool 420. Like, okay.
Blade's password is fuck the IRS.
But then he just leaves her. But like, she doesn't even do like a thing normally in that situation. And I think they did it a little bit in the second one where it's like, what's the password? And she doesn't even do like I can't tell you. They'll kill me if I tell you.
No, but the guy that they shot in the back just finished saying that they'll kill me. And he goes,
and she doesn't say
motherfucker,
it
I'll
either.
kill you.
Instead, she's like, you know what? Honestly, this girl is so incompetent. Blade probably could have just knocked, and she would have been like, "Hey, come on in,
Come on in, man. What's up?
Come on, bro, what's up?
come on in." You made a good point that everyone has the tattoos, the familiars.
And now the tattoos in this one are used to literally scan like a QR code.
And then at one point, when Blade is making fun of the Night Stalkers because he thinks they all suck, he's like, "What do you know about vampires?" We find out Hannibal King was a previous familiar to Parker Posey, but his sign is on
his happy trail.
His happy trail. We get to see
right
pubes.
above his crotch.
Yep.
And you do see the top of his pubes. And I'm like, how does he scan that? How does he?
We were thinking of the thing. I'm like, he has to like climb up on the thing, right? That's
Yeah.
weird.
And he has to get erect or it falls out.
Oh my god, we forgot the Blade boner.
Okay, so at one point when Blade stands up,
I'll send you the
after
picture,
after they're breaking him out of the police station, they give him that, he bites down that thing that gives him the energy.
It's like the serum. It's like a different version of a serum.
It's like an asthma inhaler.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then when he stands up, he has a raging boner.
Yes.
I mean, and at first Tony thought it, and obviously that's what I would think too, because you would think, why would they leave that in the movie? But it was
For the ladies.
it was clear as day that it wasn't his pants. It was a boner, because when he stood, he even leaned back to show it off.
That was a choice. That was a choice.
Dude, he was...
The problem is that's the take with the least amount of boners. Then, if you think about it,
Yeah.
every other take must have been way worse.
There's like behind the
Harry Knowles must have loved that scene.
There's a behind the scenes. Ryan Reynolds like, oh, Wesley was a prankster. He once put Viagra in everyone's drinks. We had if you look really carefully during certain scenes, we all have raging erections. Even Parker.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, they return to the Night Stalker hangout. They find pretty much everyone dead. Patton Oswalt's dead. The other guy's dead. Natasha Lyonne is walking around. Hannibal was taken prisoner. It's funny because you think Whistler's there for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to mention.
Oh, Ghost Whistler.
Yes, we forgot to mention Dracula. There was like a whole. It's really hard to remember. this movie.
Dracula.
Dracula.
It's really hard to remember this movie
Because it's bad.
because at one point they go to question the one familiar CEO dude, and then it's Drake who has shapeshifted into him.
Abby, it's Drake!
And we also forgot when Patton Oswalt was showing off all the new gadgets. At some point, he's just like, "Yeah, Dracula can shapeshift. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
I should mention it now so it's not weird when it happens later."
And also, Patton Oswalt was very openly sexist in this movie. I'm just, if anyone's curious.
Yeah, we called it out on our commentary track. They come in, he's like, "What's up, gentlemen and hottie?"
Gentlemen and hottie.
And it's like, why isn't that just a strong,
Blade was
independent
talking
woman?
to Blade.
Huh?
He's talking about Blade.
Yeah. Sup, cheeks?
You know what? No, it's fine.
That explains the boner.
Well, remember, then he's also a little homophobic because they're like,
Oh, yeah.
Because Ryan Reynolds specifically asked him, like, "Have you ever gotten laid?" He's like, "Yes."
Many times. With ladies.
That isn't what Ryan Reynolds
Yeah,
asked.
and nobody
he
asked
just
that.
asked if you got laid. He didn't say with what gender identification. And Patton Oswalt, who's so insecure, had to be like, no, it was definitely girls. It's like, well,
And then
now it just seems like you're lying.
And then Dracula decides the way to infiltrate their secret vampire destroying facility is to change into the guy that they all know is dead.
Yes.
Instead of changing to like Ryan Reynolds or one of them that he'd be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I came back, I escaped," or whatever. Or instead, what they do is he changes to the dead guy, but now he's dressed in a black suit. And at one point, he's just staring over them. And he shows up, and I guess that's the scene where he abducts the blind chick's daughter.
Yes, he kills the blind girl, or he he hurts her a lot.
Yeah.
And he takes her daughter, and then it's a Scream 3 situation where it turns out she just left a video for them.
Good.
Or she's like,
How
if you're watching
convenient.
this, I'm probably dead.
It was in a folder titled "The MacGuffin."
Yeah. And then she
MacGuffin was
says,
spelled
she's
wrong.
like, there's another advancement I made another breakthrough. It's like, so every single breakthrough, does she then sit down in her camera and be like, if you're watching this, I'm probably dead. Like every single time.
Every single time. Yeah.
And they're like, wow, she does this every day.
Every
Mommy, why are
achievement.
you always crying every day?
If you're watching this, I'm probably dead. In the fridge is probably the best turkey sandwich I have ever made. Ever. There's half in there. Try it.
Yeah, so she's like, look, I made this, I made the weapon that can kill the vampires. But Blade, heads up, it might kill you. Also, rewind a little bit, I forgot. There's a really fake baby in this movie. Show the footage of the fake baby. Okay, back to this. So yeah, now it's just like, all right, we only have this one arrow that some guy shows up to give them. And it was the guy who was in Peacemaker, you found out?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. This dude just
Claudio or something?
Coldor.
Coldor or something. This guy comes out of nowhere and he's like, hey, what's up? It's me, Jerry McGuffin. Here's the arrow. All right, bye. And he fucking leaves.
You only get one shot at it. That's it.
One
And
chance,
it was
one
like,
opportunity.
wow, I would have loved if, you would have maybe set that up. It would have meant something, or maybe set it up with the 3 different films. That there's somebody working on something. But no. Instead, it's just like, you have a son and here's an arrow and, I don't know, no raves either. Can't afford it.
No raves. Yeah, so they get the arrow and they're like, all right, it looks like we're going to the fucking vampire lair again.
Which, by the way, the vampire layer is basically the Avengers Tower. If you really take a look at it,
It kinda
if you
looks
look
like
at
it.
it side to side, it really looks like the same building.
Yeah, you know what it isn't? A fucking rave.
Yes. Hannibal King is being interrogated, and him and Triple H just making dick jokes. To the point where Parker Posey is upset about all the dick jokes because she has penis envy.
She does say that. She literally says, you're bringing out the envy in me when they were talking about dicks. And I'm like,
Now,
okay.
here's one of the biggest problems I have here. So the Reapers were like a problem for vampires, right?
Yes.
It was like a very deadly disease that could have wiped them all out. Because remember, the Reapers don't stay alive long, so eventually they would have turned into Reapers and then just die.
Spoilers, I'm watching these reviews backwards.
Well, so yeah, you probably shouldn't watch these reviews.
I like to memento my reviews.
Oh, you do the review first and then you watch the
Right,
movie?
and then I never watch them again because once you get the thing, it's no point.
The whole movie.
So-
That's what Tony meant.
I should review Memento in order.
That would be hilarious. Honestly, not a joke, you should.
But it'll be black and white when we're talking about the
Of
black
course,
So anyway.
of course.
So yeah, the Reapers were like a problem that they wanted to wipe out. And also they destroyed all the evidence for it. Like Whistler destroyed all the vials. They blew up that place. So somehow they figured out how to get Reaper DNA and they put it in a Pomeranian. And it's the dumbest effect. It's like, I'm fine with a vampire dog. It's the fact that it was the Reaper. I'm like, no, that.
And also, to make it even better, it was Triple H's dog, which made the contrast of big guy with little dog. I think that's what they were going for.
I think that's
Although,
what they
in
were
all
doing.
fairness, that scene was quickly made better when 2 gigantic Rottweilers were also chasing
That
with
comes
the
up
dog
in a little bit. Yes.
and step on the little dog.
And you could tell that really happened.
There is a take where the Rottweiler runs over the Pomeranian. They just left that.
Audible yelp from the Pomeranian. Love it.
I do like the moment. It'll be like, now it's cliched when this happens, where Ryan Reynolds is like, oh, they know they're coming here. I got a tracker and they're coming in right now. And they're like a few seconds off. I'm like, that's funny.
Something that we forgot to mention that just really quick that I think is an important scene to kind of sets what the movie's going to be. When Jessica Biel's dressed like a homeless person or walking with her bag.
Oh my God. We totally forgot the introduction to
right. Cause so they're following. So like there's vampire hooligans, I guess, are following her. And apparently these vampires' jobs is to go out there and hopefully with a city filled with millions of people get lucky that they follow you, debate them. And then of course, she kicks all their asses and stuff.
Yeah. With her UV bow and arrow that can expand.
It's half as hot as the sun, which of course that can't be possible.
You know what helps me when I'm fighting people, Royce? If I have earbuds in and I'm listening to music, so I won't be able to hear if anyone's sneaking up behind me.
For me, it's a lot of slapping and biting.
Yes.
That usually gets me out of a situation.
So they all break into the facility to free Hannibal King and fight Drake. Dracula. It's boring. It's not.
It
fun.
is underwhelming. It's an underwhelming fight.
The dogs falling out of the tower was worth it.
Oh, 100%.
The best fight scene, in my opinion, of the whole thing was Triple H fighting Ryan Reynolds, because at least we saw some action that was different.
Yeah.
I enjoyed, and their banter and that's again, tell you what's in. Their banter was probably the best out of the whole movie between the two people.
Yep.
Because you could tell they're both kind of cocky and it was kind of a good fit. But outside of that, Jessica Biel, they really build up her back thing in her childhood, and all she does is kind of shoot a couple arrows.
Yeah.
And so it's not really a lot. And then, of course, like you said, the final fight is a CGI nightmare.
Oh my God, the shot with Dracula getting launched off the thing and spinning around is really bad. I do like the whole thing, the cliche of like, I'm angrier and this fight got harder, so let me get less armored. It's like, oh, you probably shouldn't do that.
Less armored and more demoned.
And Dominic Purcell was like, all right, I'm out. Let's switch to the tall stuntman and the red
Why
dragon.
not always be that guy? He feels like he's stronger that time. Start the fight like that.
Yeah, that always cracks me up with those. Like, why aren't you always the monster? Just always be the monster. Yeah, so like I said, the fight is, I'm actually more invested in the Parker Posey Hannibal King stuff.
Absolutely. 100%.
Where she's like trying to kill him.
And I bet you that was a setup for the spinoff, was their relationship and all that. Because that actually would be, I would honestly watch a movie where Parker Posey is a scorned ex-lover of Ryan Reynolds, a vampire hunter.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty funny.
That sounds pretty
Dude, that would be a good show, and it doesn't even need to be in the Blade universe.
No.
It could be its own fucking thing.
Yeah. But yeah, that is weird. Like, Jessica Biel, she doesn't, because Hannibal takes care of Triple H. His death is kind of cool. I like how he falls through the bars there. But then he's also dealing with Parker Posey. Like, Jessica Biel, I think, shoots some stuff at her. She's not really fighting anyone, really, that I can recall.
No one really fights. They all just kind of chase there's chasing and running, and then
that's right. They're all fighting just random vampires who happen to be in the building.
Yes.
There's the armed guards, and then there's just vampires who are just there.
Yep.
It's all over the place. It's not as self-contained as the fight.
And that's a good point. Like, it's implied that there's a lot of vampires there, right? It's implied but you only really see 4 of them fighting. Like, if you would think this invasion was that big, wouldn't all the vampires in the facility at the same time?
Yeah.
But just a couple of the guards show up, because later on when they released this Dawnstar virus, they literally had to bring in extras to be vampires to show them dying.
Yep. What did you think of the red dragon, Dracula?
I mean, in terms of a practical effect, I think it looked cool.
Yeah.
It's not like it didn't look bad, but it was like, but why?
Yeah.
Yeah, then they gave him like a Reaper mouth. Not quite a Reaper mouth.
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of.
But it's him changing size didn't seem to make him stronger.
No,
Like, it's an aesthetic thing, I guess.
Yeah, it was like a scary face on a butterfly's wings.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
And he decides to like sword fight Blade. It's like, well, the silver wouldn't kill any of you, really. So you're just gonna slice each other up. I don't know what you're gonna achieve.
Yeah.
though.
Pointless.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it
pointless.
was a pointless end for a pointless film.
And this would be a good moment for the Abigail character to shoot the arrow. We forgot the training of her shooting the arrow, trying to shoot the arrows
So apparently
faster.
arrow speed goes faster, but it can't be your arm can only go back as far. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. That's how that goes. And not like the speed even fucking matter, because by the way, because they couldn't even let Abigail get the win, because when she shoots a Dawnstar arrow, Dracula catches it in the air, and Blade has to be the one to do it.
Yeah, I hate when movies do that. Like there's
Dracula catches it and then drops it at Blade's hands.
Yeah, he
like,
just throws it.
Just
he
drops
doesn't,
it
I
at
guess he
Blade's
doesn't
hands.
know what it is.
Still though.
Yeah. That reminds me of like the Resident Evil movies are famous for that, where someone could kill, but they have to make sure Mila Jovovich is the one who kills them.
Yeah.
Well, that's why, the best Batman movie ever made, Dark Knight Rises. That's why I like that. Like Catwoman just comes in and shoots Bane.
That is how it should have gone.
It's not like Catwoman came in and then gave Batman something to beat up Bane.
just shot him.
Yeah,
which is the way it should have been. We kept making the joke through this whole thing, the whole Scott Evil thing. I have a gun in my room. Like,
we can just shoot him right now.
This problem should have been solved a long time ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and then after the whole fight, they inject him with the Dawnstar thing, and then of course it only kills. Thankfully, because they wanted spin-offs, it only kills vampires in the general vicinity. But then when he's dying, Dracula decides to go, even though they're mortal enemies, and he just genocided half of his species. He goes, "I'll give you a final gift." Blade, you have a final gift that I'll give you. And then the final gift was for him to turn into Blade when he died, so they think he was alive.
I grant you freedom, Blade. Do you think I'm a slave? I know you're like centuries old, but like I'm not.
He's like, hey, Drake, like we can walk around now.
Drake, it's 2022, man. Drake.
Yeah,
Drake.
Depending where you are you in the third world and this the
Oh my
chocolate
god,
industry?
the movie ends with Dracula getting canceled. He doesn't even get killed, he gets canceled.
One of the like other vampires is like,
Did you see Dracula's tweet?
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
I don't know if you know this, but Dracula was following Reinhardt on Twitter before he died.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, wow. No,
Reinhardt's German.
You know who
Drakehart's
else Dracula followed? That Andrew Tate guy.
Guys, I think Dracula's problematic.
Well, he's like, I've killed thousands of people. That's the issue?
Yeah. So now the whole him. So he wants to keep Blade alive at that point because he's like, you'll create more vampires. And it's like, do we know if Blade can turn people into vampires? I don't think that was ever really spelled out.
Yes, I think he can because didn't he try to do that to save somebody from dying? In the first one?
I don't even remember.
So.
Maybe I'm mixing up every vampire movie ever made.
I think the whole point though, like I've noticed there's like a pattern. I think what it is that he's a daywalker, right? So anyone that he bites would become a daywalker, and I think that's why everyone was like after his blood in like the second one.
I don't think if he bites them, they could turn into daywalkers. I think using the blood, they could try to make something.
Yeah, but he's like, the thirst will get you, Blade, and you'll finally give in. And
but technically he does when they bathe him in blood.
Yeah, but listen, so we knew that there was this fact going around that Wesley Snipes didn't want to open his eyes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I don't think we saw that. So I think I was reading the original ending. I don't think it was supposed to be Drake in the morgue because that's how the movie ends. They find Blade's body, they put it in the morgue, and it turns out to be Drake. But I'm seeing here in the unrated extended edition, the body in the morgue does not transform back into Drake. Blade awakens as the autopsy begins. So that's probably the CGI thing.
Hold on. Back. Don't gloss over the fact that there's a fucking extended version of Blade Trinity.
Yes. He awakens as the autopsy
15
begins.
more Ryan Reynolds dick jokes.
Fuck you.
And he attacks the doctors and the FBI agents. The scene ends as he menacingly approaches a cowering orderly. King narrates that the virus did not kill Blade, as the human half of his heart did not stop beating and only slowed down, causing him to enter into a comatose state until his body was ready to fight again. So that's how they were originally going to end it. Instead, this one, they're like, he just gets off on a motorcycle and takes off.
Oh, he takes off in not just in like he takes off along the center line of 2 lanes.
Yeah. And he's going normal speed and they're going fast speed.
And if you slow it down, as he goes off into the horizon, they squeeze him thinner so that he fits
Yes.
fades out.
Yeah. So yeah, the movie just kind of ends there.
Yep.
But there was...
Blooper reel was dope, though.
There was a... Huh?
Blooper reel was sick. I don't think that... Can we do that again, guys? Can we do that again? Fuck.
So there was another alternate ending. Because now there's less vampires, I guess. I wonder if in the original version it was going to be all vampires or something. But
if I remember correctly in the blooper reels, one of the things was he goes, "You cunt juggling thundercock." I got it wrong. I'll do it again. I'll do it again.
remember Stuttering John's blooper reels?
Oh my
God. One Too Many?
Yeah, Stuttering John's blooper reels called his career.
Yeah.
Dude.
Me and Carl
One
have a
Too
commentary
Many.
track for that.
One Too Many was
Do you have a commentary
rough.
track for that too, right?
Merch did, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm the one who actually got him. I'm the one who actually told him about that and got him the copy.
That
and
was
shit.
me and Carl. That is probably one of the most unfunny comedies I've ever
It's
seen.
one of the hardest things. I think that's one of the hardest things I've had to. That's my Rocket Man. That's
Yeah.
my Rocket Man. Is One Too
That
Many.
was-
Harlan Williams Rocket Man movie is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Yeah, dude. If you want to suffer,
Robin Williams.
Harlan Williams.
Harlan. I saw that as a kid and I remember liking it. I wonder how
It's
I would feel.
bad.
you will not like it now.
Yeah. So the alternate ending, the Night Stalkers, they're in a casino in Asia. And I have seen this scene. You should check out this scene. And they're like, not so many vampires around. The things have been less busy. And then a werewolf bursts in. It's like, we're gonna fight werewolves.
Wait, Chinese werewolves?
By night, possibly? I don't know. We're gonna fight werewolves down. That's how that ends.
You see, they're like the Daywalker version. They're called Their Wolves. They can be anywhere.
I don't. And they don't have to turn into wolves. They're just guys.
Yeah, they're just.
I
hairy
get why
dudes.
they changed it, because like, why would you want to set up a vampire killing team and then you make the movie where you introduce them, you kill all the vampires? It's like that seems counter to what you want to do.
It's not werewolves. It's just a bunch of burly Greek tourists. Swarthy.
So that is Blade Trinity.
Jesus.
I will
Never
never
again.
watch it again.
Never again.
Ever again.
Ever.
Ever. Except for when I'm syncing up our audio commentary. But other than that, never again.
Hashtag never forget.
Get the make sure to get the four film favorites collection.
There's a what the fuck is? Give me that. What's
the
fourth?
fourth one is the pilot to the TV show starring Sticky Fingers, which is
Starring
House of
Sticky
Cathars.
Fingers?
Oh, you never saw the TV show?
No.
Well, looks like we have one more thing to do.
The TV show, apparently, it was on Tubi a while back, and I didn't have time to watch it.
The best streaming service, by the way, too.
Yeah,
Of course.
obviously. The TV show, apparently, like from what I read, it got like really good like ratings. It was just too expensive to produce, and they're like,
Yeah.
we're done. We're done. Moon Knight would have originally debuted in the Blade TV show, and then they had to wait till Disney Plus. So that is Blade Trinity. We all hate it.
It's so bad.
It's not very good at all. Wesley
awful.
Snipes is checked out. Ryan Reynolds has a few good jokes here and there, but mostly no.
I hated it.
What's her face is hot, but you could probably just look up some pictures of her.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you don't
Or
need
watch
to,
another movie she's in. Like, really, a better movie. Watch a better movie she's in.
I got a better idea.
Chuck and Larry. She's in Chuck and Larry.
Yeah.
Watch Jessica Biel in Chuck and Larry.
I got one here. Don't worry about Jessica Biel. Watch any other movie.
Yeah.
Anything that exists.
I was gonna say if you're like a weirdo, I mean totally normal person. There are extreme close-ups of her feet, but you probably just go to the internet for those.
They do have a. Oh, she has that shower scene where she's crying and the
Yeah.
blood's coming out. It was really weird, and it's
Yeah.
also one of the biggest showers I've ever seen.
Yeah,
It's a very large shower. That's kind of one of those showers like a serial killer traps you in and it slowly fills.
Yeah.
Like a torture shower.
So that's it.
This
Well,
movie's a torture shower.
Yes.
well, thanks, guys. I just wanted to have a nice morning coffee, and you.
Oh, we ate your leftovers. I'm sorry. We got peckish.
You have a lot of sushi in your fridge.
Like an alarming amount.
Like it's concerning. We ate it all, but it's concerning how much there was, Tony.
I mean, 5 pounds of California rolls?
I like California rolls, guys.
I mean, obviously you do.
California rolls. I love to eat them every.
Blade broke us. This is what we are now.
So yes, I guess we'll come back for the TV show. We can find it streaming.
I can find it. Don't worry about that.
Now, feels like a stupid question. I wanted to say, where can I find you? But apparently, in my apartment complex.
You can find me wherever Tony's not home. I'll be in his house. And also go to, here, let me plug my locals. RevengeOfTheSith.locals.com, because we do a bunch of movie riffs there and stuff like that. And that's really fun. So
I have something in my ear. I think you said Sith, and we're just going to go with that. Well, what did
no,
you
it says, what? No, it says, what?
like a cis? Anyway, what was your thing?
Oh, when I'm not raiding Tony's fridge for imitation crab and cream cheese, you can find me midnightriffparty.locals.com. There'll be show updates to our streams on Rumble, as well as there's paid content, like a little extra stuff. It gets pretty spicy. It's pretty awesome.
And that's real imitation crab.
Yes, real authentic imitation.
Real, authentic imitation crab.
Spelled with a K.
Okay.
2 B's.
Well, I guess I got to wake up now and like go to work. Are you?
Yeah, we'll be here.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna.
We're going to find the Blade series and watch it for you.
Yeah, you do your bit.
Oh,
All right, see you later, buddy. Bye.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.
Talking about tapes.